All right. Hello, everybody. We are back.
You want to use your mic, AMIT? Your actual expensive mic, or do you prefer the?
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it sounds like your iPhone sitting in the other room, the one you left in the Uber.
I thought it was plugged in.
Oh no.
Switch.
All right. I feel like it's been a while since we all four got back together.
The band is back together.
Band is back together. Obviously, super busy past couple days. How are you guys doing? How's your weekend?
Why don't you go first? I mean,
I became.
You weren't prepared to answer your own question.
I became a man this weekend.
Oh,
you got a circumcision?
No.
With both hands?
No. I spent Sunday morning at Home Depot.
Oh, you were all like, power tool.
Very smelled in the nails and the screws. And I hate Home Depot. I don't like doing that manly stuff, bro. I'm not a fan of it.
That might have been the thing you've said that's made me the most sad.
You already knew this, bro. I hate doing this shit.
When Carlos talks about weak men, I think he's specifically talking about you.
We had this conversation, right? Good times create weak men. You gotta go to Home Depot like once.
Listen, all men have to know how to fix shit. Okay, that's just the bottom line.
Dude, all men need to be rich enough to pay someone.
No.
Even if you can pay somebody, you have to know how to do it.
Because then what happens is when the shit hits the fan, the ones that you pay, those guys, they get rid of you guys like you.
Yeah, there's something satisfying about actually getting something done. Like there's a feeling like I accomplished this, that you don't get by just hiring someone and then they're doing it and then that's it.
So what was the thing that you needed to repair? That's the question. What was it that
you just need to get some things for the house, some nails, some specific measurements for some boards and stuff. And my parents couldn't go, so they tasked me with going. And I was like, I was just like, what is going on? What is this place? And I was just like, I was trying to find Home Depot employees, all of them should be fired. All of them.
Yes.
None of them want to help, nor do they care to help. Nor they think they're too good. They think they're too smart to even tell you what aisle the fucking nails are at. And I'm just like, dude, can we? No, I can't change a tire.
By the way, there's an app. So you should just download the app if you need to find what aisle it's in at this point. So you can do that.
I think people at Home Depot, the people at Home Depot use the app too. Like when they want to know where something is, they just
I think this is
right in front of you.
I think this may be a New York thing rather than because I go to Home Depot here, I go to Lowe's here, dude. Everyone is super friendly down here. I don't know, maybe it's a New York,
maybe it is a New York thing, bro.
Well, no, you're in New Jersey. In New Jersey, they're fine. It's not a New York thing. He's in New Jersey.
Some of them are older too. And
there's a lot of chicks out here. A lot of chick employees at Home Depot, and they wear these tight little apron. You're like, damn.
That's definitely an LA thing, not definitely an LA thing. The chicks are pretty big in the Home Depot where I go.
When I was working at that security company, I lived at Home Depot. Every day I was going in there buying pipe or whatever to mount.
You weren't laying it, you were buying it?
You know who they should really hire? The Mexicans. The Mexicans know where everything is. Because they are the ones that go. If you go to Home Depot, 9 out of 10 times you'll see the Mexican contractors doing all the shopping and everything.
Well, they're also waiting outside for you to pick them up at the same time, at least around Jersey.
Out here, it's a full-time job.
Yo, Carl, switch the order. Everyone's in the chat is noticing how bad.
No. Leave the order.
No, change it, man. I don't like it.
I don't like it either, bro.
Well, put KRIS back. Leave me underneath AMIT. I like to be underneath AMIT.
All right. Oh, he likes to be underneath. You're a bottom, man. I didn't think VITALY was a bottom.
Yeah, I like the bottom. I like the woman to do all the work, and AMIT is clearly a woman.
Dude, I hate Home Depot, bro. I'm just like, none of them want to help me. The thing is annoying.
Well, look, you can say that. Oh, I had a bad experience at Home Depot. The person there didn't help me, whatever. But to say you hate Home Depot.
Yeah,
Home Depot
it's like the best place ever.
Yeah, I could literally go there I don't know, and I have gone there 2-3 times a day if I'm working on something.
It's like a men's Disneyland.
It's a men's toy store.
Would you rather go to Home Depot than Target?
Yes.
Bro,
100%.
what?
Yes.
100%.
I'd rather go to Walmart than Home Depot.
This is we're trying something new where I added the headlines. So now underneath your name, you can have your Twitter handle.
Oh,
so
I didn't know that. Oh.
You can go in your setting on the side. So you can have just your name, and then underneath you can say what your handle is.
Okay, so let's get to the first topic of the day, Carlos. I'm going to share my screen here. This stock had an unexpected rise today, up 12%. One of the best days it's had over the past year and a half. Snapchat Inc. The reason for this is because Evan Spiegel, the CEO's internal memo was released to their employees that they expect their DAUs for 2024 to be at 475 million versus the street expectation of 447. So about 30 million more than expected, which obviously means some level of increased advertising revenue, which begs the question, is there anything that we should be looking at when it comes to Snapchat stock?
What is the average age? Average age of
13 to like 20. That's what they say is like their core demographic. So their pitch to advertisers is, hey, if you're Allstate Insurance, you want to be the 13-year-olds, you want to be in their head because when they get to buy insurance, they're going to see you so many times.
Is that really?
Yes,
wow.
that's their. If you go to their
pitch.
investor deck, they tell Coca-Cola like, hey, if you want kids to drink Coke and not like Sprite, you need to.
You got to get them young, basically.
Well, the Coke makes sense. The Allstate thing, I'm not sure if that's quite the same.
That was in their deck, bro.
But guys, if you're planning on crashing, you want us to be in your corner.
Yeah.
Who in the chat uses Snap? Oh, that's Snapchat. Who in the chat uses Snap? Let us know.
Who is under 25 and uses Snap? Raise your hands.
Snapchat was like a thing. I don't know.
Who sends messages that need to be deleted? That's the question. You know.
Here's the thing about Snapchat too. What's going on with Israel and Hamas, you would imagine that Snapchat is a major content hub for people to get real-time communication to see what's happening, like on stories. And it's not even discussed. It's Twitter and Facebook where all the content is uploaded for like geopolitical events. So I thought Snapchat had a huge opportunity. What do you say?
That's where the reactions are. Like you can have.
Yeah, but no one cares. Like you don't see Snapchat. ABC and MSNBC aren't taking Snapchat videos. They're taking like Twitter. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not mainstream, I guess, when it comes to geopolitical events. So do you guys think there's any value to Snapchat or to the stock?
No. I mean, personally, I'm kind of with Chris. I know Snapchat as getting messages that would be deleted. You know, when I was on the dating scene, it wasn't anything that, I don't know, it wasn't a place that I went to have news, to connect with people. It was literally just like a DM with women I was dating.
Well, what you're mentioning is the main problem. So, you know, you're 13 years old. How do you monetize a 13-year-old who just wants to private message his tiny girlfriend? So it's a hard question to answer. I don't think Snap can answer it.
And are there ways of like buying directly from the app? Like, you know, if you're on Instagram and you see an ad for something, you can swipe up, you can purchase the item right there. It'll autofill, has your credit card information. I don't know.
13-year-old buying with his autofill credit card. I mean, like,
that's what I mean. Like their money's coming from their parents. So do they have a way of like fulfilling the order at that touch point with the customer?
Man,
I haven't used Snapchat forever, honestly.
Ricardo's right. It's also used by drug dealers.
Okay,
you're right.
100%, bro.
That's like Bitcoin.
I remember buying some weed on Snapchat.
Bitcoin and Snapchat. There you go. That's the use case.
I 1000% bought weed in college off some random dude on Snapchat who was near my area, and I met up with him. He was super chill, but Snapchat made that happen. Like, it was definitely Snapchat.
Well, the problem, once again, it's for younger people, and they want to message privately. How do you monetize those people? That's the question. Like, you know, I think that's a very hard thing to do.
That's the answer right there. I'm 25 and I haven't used it since I was 16.
There you go.
So you graduate out of, it's like the beginner, the starter app, the starter social media app, and then you graduate from that app to like the big boy app. You get to Twitter or, you know.
Well, for messaging, if you're not using Messenger in terms of iPhone, yeah, you're using WhatsApp. I think that's the only other like mature competition that's going on right now.
Yeah.
No, I was going to say there's two things. One, the algorithm on Instagram stories is just on another level, and now they're pumping advertising that actually makes sense, that actually I want to use. Like I've been looking for.
You're talking about Snap, Chris.
No, I know, but no, I'm just saying the competition is worth talking about.
Yeah, Meta.
So the competition for Instagram, I don't know how they know everything, but they know I'm in like right now my wife is working all the time. She's working all overtime. So I'm like, you know what? We need to get, I spoke to her, like, maybe we should get someone to come in and at least clean like once a month or something. Right. And like, now I'm getting ads for like maids and stuff, and they're like local, highly targeted. And I'm probably going to end up getting one of the people that I see on there that are, you know, specifically maids. It's just crazy the level of return that you can get by doing like targeted advertising. And I didn't search for anything on Instagram that was speaking about that. I didn't like, it's just, I don't know whether
you talk about it near your phone.
It's always weird when that happens.
Yeah. Yeah, I
That's-
think I've
I mean,
actually
seriously,
took-
that's
yeah.
what it was.
The thing is,
we
what's
did
it-
this test one time. We sat here and we talked about Jamaica. Remember, we said Jamaica like
Oh,
10
no.
times in a
Now
row.
we're
How
all
I want to
getting
go to
Jamaica
Jamaica,
ads.
and then everyone started getting fucking
Yeah.
Jamaica, or even on the.
we did that with
YouTube
the
deal.
Ukrainian single women. That's what we did.
Yeah, that happened, and
You're
that
like, would you like to
TFC,
go to
boy,
Jamaica
said
with
that
your
today.
Ukrainian girlfriend?
that
Whoa.
destroyed my YouTube feed for like a week. Every ad was these single Ukrainian women.
I
Well, now you're gonna
remember-
get more of them.
Well, Google was very similar. I remember I had you know the Google Home, that little device, like the
Oh, the
Alexa.
HomePod,
I
yeah,
probably
yeah.
turned on some Alexas, but so I had that and it was on when I moved into this house. And I was talking about chimneys because I actually never had a chimney. This is the first chimney I've had. I'm like, okay, what do I do? How do I use this
How do I clean it?
fireplace?
Yeah.
Literally within hours, I was getting all of these sort of fireplace ads, chimneys, buy the wood blocks that you can buy and all this. I immediately pulled out the Google Home. I immediately just like yanked it.
Me too. I had an
Is there-
Alexa. I had an Alexa when it first came out for a while, and I loved it. Like you could set this. They had this awesome feature where you could say like, Alexa, tell me, give me a news update, and it would tell you all like the just speaking to you, give you like 30-second clips of all the basic news. Like here's the latest technology news. Here's the latest like stock news. Here's the latest like news around the world with war. And then the same thing started happening to me. Like I would talk about stuff and then I would get ads. And then if you look on, I don't know if Google has this, but if you look on the actual Alexa app, it has a recording of everything that you've said to it, everything that it's records you saying, and you can scroll back through the history and listen to the exact audio that it heard of you.
And how long did they keep that for?
I don't know. It was like it was
Forever,
for a
probably.
while. It was for a while. And where it really got me was there was like it caught conversations that I was having with girls that I had at my house when they were over, and I was like, I got to delete this. And so, yeah, I unplugged. I loved the functionality. I really did love how cool it was to just be like, yo, give me a news update. It felt like the future, but I for that cost, I wouldn't do it. I'm like, I'll just do a fucking search.
Yeah, but the
Dude,
thing is that we're old, so we do care a little bit about privacy. We know that AMIT cares very little about privacy. And my kids, by the way, one of my kids has a watch, right? So everything doesn't know. Well, I forgot Siri, right? Siri.
Yeah.
What does this mean? What does this do? So Siri's just like recording all of his conversations because everything is into that
Well,
watch
Apple
now.
cares about privacy, so he's okay, right?
Let's hope so. Yeah.
They're the best of it. But I mean, there was a guy that was put
That's
in
why
jail.
Siri had no answers for him. He's like, go search Google.
Siri's pretty bad. And there was a guy that was put in jail for his Alexa. Like your Alexa can be subpoenaed. So if something happened in his house. He had a house party, and there was some people fighting or whatever it was, and then they subpoenaed.
Somebody was killed.
I don't know. Maybe
I heard this. Yeah.
Maybe was killed. But anyway, there was an altercation at his house during a party, and the police subpoenaed the Alexa, and were able to go back and listen to basically all the recordings and incriminated some people there. And boom. So basically, the Alexa testified in court against those people.
But just FYI, me and Carlos, not outing anything, but we have Wise cameras, and that's a Chinese company, basically. So, I mean, how much privacy is there with those cameras? You know
They're seeing my wife,
in the shower. That's where you're putting.
They're seeing her. I mean, what are we gonna...
And did you guys use the WhatsApp AI bots? Those things are stupid as hell, man.
No,
Actually, they're cool. I did try it. I think they're pretty cool.
No, I tried.
Web only?
I tried the chef one on WhatsApp. This dude's like, "Oh, I'm a vegetarian. I don't like harming animals." I was like, "What the fuck, bro?
What?
Like
but I'm sitting here with a steak. How do
I cook the steak, asshole?
Yeah, I was like, "Yo, what do I do about some curry chicken?" And the dude's like, "Oh, you shouldn't harm animals." I was like, "Motherfucker,
Who are you talking
I
to?
don't need a lecture."
Who are you talking to? You're talking
Chris,
to the Asian chef there?
You asked
Yeah.
Zuckerberg's Chef AI to help you make
That's
chicken. And he
BS.
said, "Don't eat animals."
Yeah,
I don't believe
That
that.
is insane.
here I'll
That's
show
insane.
you. I'll show
I can't
you.
believe that, bro.
Yeah.
Because that seems like you can make mistakes with this AI stuff, but that's like a big mistake.
Welcome, Magis. This is like a AA. Welcome, Magis Athletic Training. I'm new to your channel, Investing Learning. Thank you a lot.
Thanks for being here, Magis. That is crazy, bro. While Chris is pulling that up, the thing about Snapchat that I think people hate is management. They also have F-class shares too. I believe something like that. And Evan Spiegel has showed he really doesn't care about shareholders. They're still not profitable. They went public when I was in college, bro. 2017. I remember them going public.
How rich is he? How rich is he when they can't turn a profit?
He was selling also.
He was selling a lot. I think he's I'll check his net worth right now. But
he was selling when it ran up. So
yeah, it went to $80 and COVID, and he's 2.5 billion. So he's worth
Right. And
Easy
say, like,
amount.
I'm sorry, guys, we can't turn a profit.
Well, the thing
Always
is,
a
look, if they are starting
multi-billionaire.
to, first of all, it is positive. Remember we talked about that Snapchat is like the bellwether because 2 years ago, if you're going to stop ad spending, you're not going to stop it on Facebook or Google. That's idiotic for your business, but you're going to stop it on Snapchat. And if Snapchat is coming back a little bit, that means Google and Meta are going to do way better. I think that's what that's pointing to.
But here's my question: what institutional investors are believing in the stock? Because there's some people buying millions of shares because they believe it's. So what are they seeing that we don't see?
I don't
it's
think
really
they
easy
believe
for
in
us
it.
to say
That's
they're
why it
ad business
fell
stocks.
90%. I don't think they do believe in it.
Okay.
They were the first to sell out.
It would be them
There you
believing
go.
in the stock price, not the company.
There's Max, right? The AI bot, whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
Right there, hold
So
it there,
he's
yeah.
like, "Hi, I'm." So I wrote, "How do I butcher a chicken to make?"
How do I make?
What do you-
Hold on. How do I make? Wait.
There you go.
I
Just
want to
leave
make
it.
you
Raj.
bigger.
It's like we're learning how to use YouTube.
Yeah.
He has a blurry
trying to
image on the
make him
screen.
bigger.
And you're
Chris,
only
this is
showing
why I have
yourself.
a this is why I have an HD camera, Chris. Because when I put
Oh,
you can see Carp in his full glow. Okay, when
Jeez,
I
yeah,
do
there
that,
you go.
It is an
Boom.
HD camera, bro. Here. There we go.
Chris, a
There
little
we go.
lower.
I'm not sure that's a good idea. I don't think
Alright.
it's Carlos.
do
What
I
are you doing?
I'm trying to change it to just be Chris.
Just
I don't
leave-
want
No,
to
it can't be. Just do
Guys,
regular,
welcome
man.
to the
That's-
Carlito
This
show.
is real work.
Yeah.
Chickens
like
are living
this.
creatures and should be treated.
A boomer moment.
What, bro? Zuck's
I want it to. I want it to be
Zuck's
just
fucked
Chris
up on that
big.
one.
A boomer stream. LOL.
Damn, man. Make him big. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
The
I
reason
don't
Carlos
want
is running
sexual
it because
from Jay
I might have to leave
Santiago.
in the middle of the show, so I wanted Carlos to have control.
I think if
over
you
it.
make us on the side, the three, and then you move the one of the guys.
Yeah,
yeah,
but
click,
I
click
wanna-
one of the other ones, Carlos. Let's play with it right now. Click
Like
the
here.
three.
Go
Yeah,
like
there,
this.
and then
Right.
drag Chris.
now
to
drag
you. There
him.
you go.
There you
All
go.
right, go
There you
for
go.
it.
It's easier to
So
do
this
that.
is. Hold on, the
A
camera's got
little
to
further, a little
adjust.
further away, a
A little
little
further.
further.
There
There
you
you
go. Don't move it.
How do
I'm
I
not sure that's a
butcher
good idea.
chicken?
I don't think it's appropriate to encourage.
How do
or
you
provide
butcher a
instructions on how
chicken
to
to
harm
make-
animals?
All right, listen. How do I butcher a chicken to make chicken wings? I'm not sure that's a good idea. I don't think it's appropriate to encourage or provide instructions on how to harm and well, you put butcher, okay?
Yeah,
that's
that's the thing. You're like, how
Okay,
do I
Chris,
murder
Chris,
a
ask
chicken?
it again. Ask it again. Be like, what's the
no.
best way
How do
to
I
make?
How do I
prepare or cook a
prepare?
chicken?
How do I prepare chicken wings?
Yeah,
from-
say how do I prepare
Yeah,
chicken?
yeah,
wings?
yeah.
Let's see
It's
what
not telling you to be a vegetarian, okay? It's just telling you just don't murder them.
Let's see what the thing says. Maybe it's still.
No. I was asking it too to learn how to cook different meals, and it gives you all the answers you want, but you have to ask the correct question.
But dude, he didn't ask the wrong.
Yeah.
Butcher is not the like.
no, that's the
insane.
wrong question, dude.
Oh, come
He's
on.
like,
So
how do I
this
murder?
one he
how do I
gave-
murder a chicken?
Yeah, he gave like a better response here. Like he actually gave a thing.
Oh, so that
It can
one
be a bit
word made
tricky.
him mad at you. Butcher.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
got you covered, man. He says I've got you covered.
I got your
There you
back, bro.
go.
He's like, it's already butchered. All right. He's like, don't
Yeah,
butcher
it's
it, but if it's
already
already
butchered.
dead, here's what you do. Get the paprika.
Oh, you didn't kill it? Okay, here's some paprika.
Oh, now Chris is up there. Oh shit. All right. Hey, what's up, Chris?
Oh,
I'm in
Yeah,
charge
yeah,
now,
yeah.
bitches.
I like this. I like this Wheel of Fortune thing.
Yeah,
we're
we're just
doing.
moving everybody around.
Dude, is eating animals unethical? Have you ever felt that or no?
No.
No,
Never?
not
Never thought?
anymore.
I
Dude, my
actually-
entire Instagram feed is just like animals eating animals. Like if animals didn't eat animals, we wouldn't have animals to eat. Like,
Listen,
it's
we're
just
all
part of
killing each
the-
other at this point. Well, you
Part
know.
of the cycle of life.
No, I actually have a big problem with it, by the way. I still eat animals, but morally, I do have a big issue with it. And I wish there was a easier way. I tried
Oh,
the
man, you're gonna
whole,
eat Bill Gates fucking fake meat.
well, I tried the whole, tattooed chef, and I tried all that stuff, and it's just not as good. I'll be honest. It's really just not as good.
The impossible stuff is delicious, but if you look at just like the amount of salt and
Yeah, so
the
they
crap that they
they
put
kill
in
that
there,
too. I think the solution is, and they talk about this on the All In about actually growing meat in the lab. Basically, I think that's going to be a big thing in the future.
they're already
At
doing
that
it,
point,
those-
I don't
those
think I'd
meat
care.
printers.
What?
They're already doing that. Those meat printers.
No, but it's not industrial scale. So the problem is it has to get to a point where it's industrial scale. And
Well, first they're basically using like small 3D printers to print. It's kind of
Yeah.
like the replicators. It's what you see in Star Trek, where they're
It's
like,
cool,
make me
yeah.
a fucking steak, and they
I mean, look, if it's the same protein, the same molecules, and you can actually grow it or print it, whatever you can do, I personally would choose that as long as it's the same thing.
I wouldn't have a problem either. I mean,
Speaking of chicken, I was at Cheesecake over the weekend, Vitaly,
Oh,
and
fuck you, man. Didn't even
they-
get a call.
they brought back the Snickers cheesecake. Number one.
oh my
Number
God.
number two, I got banana for my parents. I was with my parents.
That's a good
because
one,
of
huh?
you. So we tried a new one because you and me tried. I was like, you guys will love banana because it was
Did they
good.
like it?
They liked it. It was good.
Yeah.
And number 3, a soda is now $5.
Oh
Glass
wow.
Coke. It used to be like $2.40, $3. Now it's
That's
$5.
just
They've
inflation.
doubled it. Well, I think that's the easy thing to double, where people will, like,
Dude,
and
I
it
was
cost them
shocked. I was
nothing.
like,
It cost them
what?
nothing.
I was like, a soda's $5. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's where the margins are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All margin.
Yeah, all margin, yeah.
Yep.
All right, let's move on to this topic because I was confused that this happened. Apparently, there was a bunch of fake news that influenced this. So Carlos and Vitaly will have to educate Chris and I on this.
What is this?
But
I don't
good
even know
old
what happened.
Bitcoin went up today. Is on my
it.
screen, Carlos. It went up to 29,945. It was $45 away from
Oh,
30?
it pumped.
30,000,
Okay.
and
All
then
right.
it came down.
All right.
This was on the news that a spot ETF was approved, but apparently that was fake. There wasn't a
Mhm.
spot ETF approval. So what happened today? Can anyone tell me?
We'll go look at the news.
Manipulation. What do you mean? What happened?
Yeah, but that tells you how spring loaded this thing is. People are waiting, right? People started piling in before they found out that
I wonder who sold that
Everything was
top.
up.
I wonder who sold that top. The manipulator.
somebody made a little.
Coin was up today. Marathon
Well,
was up
not
today.
even a little. Remember, the people who do these pump and dumps, they can 100x. The bets they make are 100x bets sometimes. So crypto's crazy. It's the Wild West of in terms of leverage.
There was a really good post while you guys are talking. I'm gonna see if I can bring this thing up. There was a really good post about this. How do I search? Let me
By the
see.
way, Kathy said today it's going to 1.8 million.
And BTC,
When?
in my
When?
opinion, is still
When?
going down. And if you watched it Into the Cryptoverse guy, he goes over it many times. But yeah, BTC should be bleeding all the way until next year. Bitcoin doesn't start really running until after the halving. So
About
it's not
100,
before the
100 or so
halving.
days after the halving.
So we still have a while to go. So anybody who's like rushing in right now, I think you can take your time.
Oh, when everyone expects something to happen, that's the time that it typically doesn't happen. That's what's got me concerned. Like, you're right. We're still putting in higher highs and lower lows. That's fine. Just keep doing that to the end of the year. But we just never know when it's actually going to trigger the rally. If that spot ETF gets approved before the end of the year,
then it's over.
Then it's over.
That's
Then
it.
we start running up even before the halving.
But do you think? I don't think the SEC is trying to release it January 1st. Let's get the spot ETF out there,
I don't think
fellas.
so either. I hope not. I mean, I've been saying for months, I'm waiting. I'm still holding some cash on the side to just grab like a little bit more before this run up, because I do think that this is the last time that I personally, with income, will be able to participate in the blow off tops of Bitcoin without profits from prior Bitcoin cycles. The price point's going to just be too high. You're talking about like,
this is the last go around for regular people.
It's literally, it would be like one Bitcoin equals a Tesla. I don't have that kind of money.
Chris, are you
no,
playing
this is
in
the
any way?
last one.
Or is MicroStrategy still your thing?
I think it's MicroStrategy, if anything. But I'm not relying on crypto right now. Like it's just there's too many opportunities in non-speculation than trying to be in something that's more speculative. With Bitcoin, with crypto, there's no fundamentals behind it, so there's no real way to analyze it other than
I think an
just
ETF is a real
money.
fundamental thing, by the way.
That's a massive.
Real fundamental
No.
news.
I'm saying as a business, that's a different story.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Like, with a business, you can at least analyze it, saying, okay, this is profitable, this is not. Bitcoin is just like a game of musical chairs, Well, not really musical chairs.
I'm getting up at the $100,000 figure.
It's pretty much just, who's the next guy willing to pay the highest amount? That's it. There's no other way to assess it based on that. And so as an investor right now, there's just too many opportunities for me to speculate on. I'd rather use all my capital towards things that are undervalued that I know are going to do exceptionally well in the next couple of years. So
it makes sense, Chris. I totally understand it. It is speculative, but it's something that has proven over the last decade that price goes up and adoption is going up. It's proving certain things out that even if you call it speculative, the trajectory has been up. And it's been a doubling. It's been on average a doubling every year.
And Bitcoin as an asset has outperformed almost every other asset class year over year, like literally the last for its entire inception. At the price January 1st, price December 1st. I think the main difference is you have to look at Bitcoin as like real estate. It's like digital real estate. You don't buy and sell real estate the same way that you do stocks and securities, right?
Well, no, he just means there's no cash flows. I can't analyze it properly. He's right about that.
But you wouldn't say that. It's just you wouldn't analyze like real estate the same way.
Yes,
You wouldn't put the same
There's
metrics.
cash flows in real estate.
Yeah,
I'm
you
saying
can tell. Like, there's a loan that you take out.
Yeah.
There's a cash flow that you're going to get from that with the current
there's a
market
return,
rate.
there's a cap rate. There's lots of things that people use all the time.
But in terms of the appreciation, the only reason why real estate goes up is because someone's willing to pay a higher price compared to some other houses in your area.
Yeah, but there's a utility.
But I'm saying the intrinsic value of the home doesn't change. The actual asset itself doesn't change. What changes is the forces around it and what people are willing to pay for it.
Yeah, but that does change. But that does change. You know, you have depreciation on the house. Like a house that needs a roof is going to be worth less than a house that doesn't. You know,
so
with
Carlos,
Bitcoin is Bitcoin.
I disagree with you about that. Real estate is totally different. But I think if you compare it to gold, gold has value. Like, I don't buy gold, but gold has value.
Yeah, but the reason why
who will invest in gold and hold it for 10, 20 years. And
the reason why gold has value is, number one, because of its scarcity and the fact that like it still has a use case. Like it's not even like jewelry. You do use this when you make like semiconductors, and they're used in computers, right?
Yeah, it's not really. So, that's not really why it's.
But it's still. I'm not saying that we really do use it for that, but that's the argument behind it. It's a rare element that provides something for us that other elements don't, and it's scarce. Although
the Bitcoin is scarce, and it's even better because you can't make any more. That's even better than gold. Because gold, I can go to eventually I can get to and mine it in some asteroid at some point. Maybe that's 100 years from now.
Maybe I don't know. That'd be interesting if they
can't mine Bitcoin in an asteroid.
Maybe. It's interesting to me how like both you and Amit, Chris,
I got some gold at Costco. I heard about that. I heard about the Costco gold. It sells out.
What, the Costco gold?
Costco sells bars of gold or whatever the hell they sell. It sells out. Or ounce. I think it's still an ounce or something.
That's right. Okay, so more than one person has asked. Vitaly, you want to pull up the rainbow chart?
Dude, we saw the rainbow chart already.
The Bitcoin rainbow chart.
How many times have we seen the Palantir chart? Okay, we can't look at the rainbow chart one more time.
What do you got against the rainbow chart?
You can pull up the rainbow chart. Go ahead.
Bro, what's funny to me is I know that you have the money.
You use Bitcoin every day.
No, you don't have to use it every day.
But you just said adoption's going up, and then you said you don't use
it. I'm not paying anyone in Bitcoin. There's guys
How can you tell me adoption is going up and you're not paying anybody?
Am I paying anyone in gold bars? Not doing that either.
It's going up. People are buying.
Yeah, but that's why gold has been pretty stagnant because there's not that much adoption of it. Bitcoin's just going up.
So remember
the rainbow chart
before this, but the Bitcoin adoption. Okay, so if you looked at gold adoption, it was like the 70s when we got the ETF for gold.
Right.
So 70s, 80s, whenever that happened, and so that's when big adoption by everybody happened in gold. So we have a similar thesis hopefully playing out that as soon as everybody can put a little bit of Bitcoin in an ETF in their portfolio, then adoption will increase. And it's such there's not a lot of Bitcoin out there.
Wait, so but no, what do you mean by adoption? Tomorrow there's an ETF. Who is using Bitcoin? How many people are using it?
What are you saying using it? If
adoption
people allocate 1% to their portfolio, Bitcoin is easily 6 figures. So as it happens, as people actually allocate it, and you might not be the guy allocating it, but my kids have no problem with digital, like we talked about, digital currencies, playing Roblox, buying digital money. They have no issue with this. They will gladly buy Bitcoin and Ethereum all day long. They spend it on things that aren't worth anything right now in digital environment.
Again, I get the whole buying it. My question is, what is it being used for? Because adoption to me is not just you acquire the coins. Adoption to me is it's called used.
Store of value. If you care about storing your wealth, Bitcoin is one way to store your wealth.
Then it's just speculation. That's all it is. Then that's fine.
Well, fine. You can call it whatever you want. People are using it for that.
But it's not speculation. If you're putting your money into an ETF to store the value, right?
Yeah, you're speculating that someone's going to buy Bitcoin.
But you wouldn't. Well, but it's not a.
Hold on, that's anything. But that's anything, honestly. Like I like to bring up gold too. People have been doing that for like 50, 100 years, 1,000 years. So it's the same thing, dude. You can call it all speculation, but at the end of the day, if people are doing it, it still goes up in value.
Look, here's my thing. When you tell me Bitcoin is going to run up 100,000, to me it sounds insane. But let's say I give it to you. That's a 3.
Why does it sound insane? It's close to 30 right now.
To me, I'm entitled to feel it's insane. I think it's insane. Okay. Even if it gets there, a 3x is not exciting at all. To the risk you have to take for a new person, you guys have great averages, but for a new guy like me to acquire for a 3x, that's it.
Well, okay, so I agree with you.
How long have you been sitting in Palantir waiting to break even? And you're complaining about a 3x. If you put,
but Carlos, the reason he prefers half x.
Figure out what right. You
That's
prefer.
a horrible. It's such a bad
No,
argument.
no. Your
I'm
argument's
using
horrible.
Chris's analysis.
All right, do you want to get rid of the rainbow charts, or do we do
Hold on, let me make this point. Chris's analysis is you can't analyze it the way you could analyze a stock. I am not as smart as you guys, but I'm trying to learn how to analyze a stock. I'd rather pick a stock like a SoFi that I can see going from 8 to 24 over the next couple of years, that I really analyze how that happens, versus betting that BlackRock and Larry Fink will take Bitcoin to the moon. That's it. So for a 3x, you want me to get excited from 29 to 100, which even that 100,000.
So by the way, you're
No way.
the 3x. When I say 3x, I mean that's like when I start selling the majority of my Bitcoin. Doesn't mean I'm selling all of it, first of all. And I think Bitcoin, if it does this adoption that we keep talking about, it's probably way more than a 3x, in my opinion.
I agree with that. I just disagree. I don't know when that's going to happen.
That's fine. Well, because we're going to find out in the next couple of years. So, and
you're saying that because you're just kind of throwing the number out there, and that's the part I have a hard time to understand.
Well,
you're saying like, oh, it'll be a 6x, a 7x, $1 million.
I did not say that. I didn't say that. I actually said I'm okay with starting to sell a lot at a 3x.
But you have a great average for an average.
I do. I have a very good average. Yeah.
And I commend you for that. But for someone just getting into it, 29,000 is a bit ridiculous.
The average, yes. If you want to have a low average, that's great. But the multiple doesn't change. It's still a 3x. If you put a Bitcoin could be $30,000 and it could shoot to $90,000, and if you put $5,000, you still get 15.
I know. I'm saying that the risk I'm taking to get the 3x seems substantially more than investing in a SoFi or a Tesla or something like that.
The counter argument to that, listen, the counter argument to that, where you're like, oh, there's all these things I can't. The counter argument is that with a stock, there are so many other like fronts that you have to manage. There's so many things that could tank the stock that are outside of the
exactly. And then I could sell and move on and go to something different. Like I can make
but that's not how it works. What I'm saying is there's more risk there involved, because there's things outside of the stock, the company performance itself, that could tank the stock.
You have to pick a good stock, obviously. You have to pick a good company.
No.
So Amit, hold on.
You're missing my point. My point is that, like, for example, something could happen to the CEO. Something could happen to the CEO. Something could happen on management. It has nothing to do with the company itself. And that could tank the sentiment around that stock. And
something could happen to Brian Armstrong tomorrow. Coinbase goes under, and then Bitcoin will drop really badly. So that argument makes no sense.
No.
Yeah, yes, it could. Something could happen to Brian Armstrong.
No, it's true. It could temporarily
That's absolutely true. Don't deny that. That's absolutely true.
So I would just want to point out, nobody's saying don't buy 99% SoFi, in your opinion, for you personally, not financial advice. But and put 1% into Bitcoin. That's all we're saying. That it should be a small little sliver of portfolio that, if it works out and you don't touch and you don't sell it at the 3x, and it just works out over the next 30 years, maybe that's 20% of your portfolio. You don't know, 30% of your portfolio, and you're taking a very small chance on it doing that. A very small chance, like 1%. That's what I'm saying. And you are choosing actually to ignore an asset class completely, which it is a new asset class. Crypto is a new asset class. And in my opinion, it's good to have a little bit in every asset class. So I have equities, I have dividend stocks, I have real estate, invest in crypto. You try to mix it up. Some of them won't do as good as some others, and that's okay, because hopefully one or two of those things do really well, and you won't care about the rest. That's why I say invest in crypto, at least 1%.
No, that's fair. And I've always said it's fair to allocate a little bit of the portfolio to it. But on a fundamental level, if I'm taking all this risk for a 3x, like I wouldn't buy a full Bitcoin.
You keep going back to the 3x.
You keep going back to taking
risk.
Well, because you guys are telling me the price target.
I'm saying for me,
you got to have a better argument than that.
Yeah, that's not a good argument.
Carlos, don't talk about arguments. You couldn't even answer the Coinbase argument. Hold on.
Look, listen. This thing has been around for 12, 14 years now. Okay, it trades 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all around the world.
Yeah, there's a lot of people 24/7 all day that are willing to buy this stupid.
Hold on.
I agree with you.
Can I finish my point before you shit all over it? The amount of people that are available to buy Bitcoin is way more than the amount of people that are available to buy any stock that you're talking about, which also has a certain level of balancing that risk. And looking historically,
doesn't balance the risk at all.
Historically, it has outperformed every.
How does that balance the risk? There's a lot of people that will sell it too. That makes no.
There are infinitely more buyers than sellers. There are infinitely more buyers than sellers. The time is every person.
They could all sell it. What? How does that balance a risk?
But your thesis has not played out. Your thesis.
No, Carlos. Let's stick on this point. You said what?
KRIS, let the others make some points.
Hold on. Literally, that argument is crazy. You said there's a lot of people that will buy Bitcoin over buying like a stock. There's a lot of people.
Okay, that could El Salvador, for example, switched their entire monetary policy to Bitcoin. You think everyone in El Salvador is going to sell all their Bitcoin? And,
No, I'm
basically
saying, but if
bankrupt
they
the
did
company,
want to sell it, why does
the
that
country?
balance the risk? I
But
don't
hold on,
understand
does that validate it for you if a country actually chooses to
No,
use that
because
as part of their
Salvador's
monetary
underwater.
policy?
No,
Does it
no,
follow-
wait. So a country switches their
country.
their official currency to Bitcoin, and you're like, no, but everyone's going to sell.
They bought it
It's
at
just a
20.
silly,
They have a
silly argument.
$37,000 average. Tell me when Salvador breaks even, please.
That-
Let me know.
Probably next year. Honestly,
Maybe.
yeah.
Or
End
maybe,
of next
you guys
year,
told
yeah.
me it's not even going to run until end of next year. You said it's not going to run until the halving.
Yeah, it
so
takes. What
probably
does it
not
take,
next year.
Carlos? 6 months after? 3 months? What's the number of days? I forget.
100 and something. The average is like 120 to 140
So
days.
6 months after the halving.
Yeah, but I still
approximately.
don't get this argument. You say there's an infinite number of buyers. They could all sell. There is no balancing of any risk. If they
That
sell.
happened, but what you're saying could happen with any stock. So why are you making it seem like it could happen a bit?
No,
Only to
because
Bitcoin?
Carlos, your argument is that there's more people because it's more accessible than the
What
stock,
I'm saying
which
is
I
the
agree.
address. What
But
I'm
the
saying
downside
is
of that is also pretty dramatic as
No,
well.
What I'm saying is, hold on, there's a fucking helicopter. What I'm saying is the amount of people that can buy Bitcoin is more than the amount of people that can buy Palantir right now.
Which means the
And
amount of people
everyone
that can sell it is
everyone
also
that
the same,
everyone
correct?
that bought Palantir can sell Palantir tomorrow.
Wait, but
So your
everyone who bought
argument doesn't
Bitcoin
make
can
any
sell
sense.
Bitcoin. What does you say?
So
I don't get it.
Amit, who here 10x, 20x on crypto? Was it you? No.
That's
Okay.
a really bad argument.
That's a good argument because
No,
we were
man,
early enough to
using your
detect that there is
personal-
something there. Hold on.
I
We
can
were
tell
early
the
enough to
entire
detect
side
that
is
there's
gonna agree
something
that's
there.
a horrible argument.
You're not
bro.
listening. If we were early enough to detect there was something there, same as in even in equities, if we're early enough to pick out something, to find something, all we're saying is that maybe you should look into it for 1% of your portfolio. That's it. And if you lost that 1%, I keep going back to that, who cares? Because Palantir will make you a
let's get
millionaire
Chris
anyway,
in
right?
Chris hasn't been talking. Go ahead, Chris.
Well, he
No,
doesn't like
I'm
crypto.
enjoying. I'm enjoying.
He doesn't like crypto anyway.
I don't know. I don't, like I said, if I don't know a topic, I don't know anything about it, I'm going to stay quiet. You know, the only alpha that I see is in speculating on some options for something like, what is that? The one that we just
We're
spoke
gonna
about.
have you do your
Goddamn.
Verizon thesis. We should probably do that today.
Eventually.
minutes.
Yeah, no. So yeah, you could speculate using options. The risk, I'm glad that you're actually talking like an investor now, Amit. That's like in my
Thank you.
opinion, that's like
Thank
showing
you.
that you're growing
Thank
because you're taking risk to reward into your calculations. I think a lot of times
As he
people
goes
don't
into
do
all
that.
options.
No, let Chris keep
Right.
going. Go ahead,
It's
Chris.
so-
Keep going. Keep going.
so ridiculous.
No, I'm just saying risk to reward is a very important part of investing. So sometimes it's okay. Like these guys, they took a little bit of money, they risked it on Bitcoin. They didn't go all in on Bitcoin. Like they didn't sell their life savings and did that. So the thing is, when you're investing, there's certain things that you should invest in a lot more. And there's other things that, yes, you can speculate on a little bit, right? So by all means, if someone is saying, hey, I think Bitcoin's going to go X, Y, and Z, and you think that this could really be an asset class and it has performed very well, putting a little bit of money towards is not a bad idea, So for me, the way that I would play this is just by buying probably like some really far dated call options on MSTR. And if something happens and Bitcoin just randomly pops, those options could go crazy. And so this way you could just get way more alpha than the 3x that these guys are talking about, while at the same time you're not really risking that much capital. So that's the way I would play it, but to each his own.
When is the $100,000 supposed to happen?
You can't say like it's supposed to happen.
I'm
it's
just
not
I'm
like
just asking. When's my 3x?
That's
coming?
like me saying, well, when's your 3x coming in Palantir? The 3x
Yeah,
in
what
Bitcoin.
day?
The 1.7x already this year.
The 3x in Bitcoin is coming before the 3x in Palantir. I'll tell you that much.
Interesting. Okay, that's so Palantir. What, from 15 to 45? You think Bitcoin's 30 to 100K basically before?
I think at some
90K.
point in the next.
It's pretty much a certainty it's going to pass Palantir.
It's going to pass. I mean, it's already. Think about it. It's market and understand that this is a 3x at a market cap of $500 billion, and Palantir's got to go from 20 or 18.
Palantir's got to go from 30 to 90 billion. Bitcoin's got to go from 500 to 1.5
Right. So
trillion.
Bitcoin's already like what 5 times or 6 times the market.
Yeah, but that also, it's harder to lose weight when you know what I'm saying? Like 500 to 1.5 trillion is not as easy as 30 to 90 billion.
No, it's not that hard for crypto to do that. It's not.
Crypto, no.
This
crypto,
is a worldwide.
Are you hold on? Let me genuine question. Are you guys stuck in 2021? Did you
Yep.
just think that was
That's
normal?
where I'm living.
Because because
No.
that
I've
time
been
is
looking
gone.
at Bitcoin, dude. We've been talking. Me and this guy have been talking about Bitcoin since like it first came out. We were trying to mine this
We
shit.
were,
This stupid
yeah,
thing.
we were doing
We didn't
mining
just buy
operations.
it. We were literally mining it in our.
I get it, but
fucking house.
interest rates weren't high. We were recovering from the GFC, and
I didn't even know about interest rates when I
was.
was mining Bitcoin. I was
Well, that's
No,
probably
no,
why.
it's-
It's
no.
because it didn't have an impact. But now interest rates are here, and it's real. And this
Look.
idea that Bitcoin just keeps going up, crypto just keeps going up. Like, I don't
The
know.
argument against Bitcoin has changed since its inception. At first, it was only for drug dealers, and it's a speculative thing, and it's a penny stock, and it was a penny stock, and it was right. And so the arguments continue to change, but as this argument continues to change, it just continues to perform, and it continues to establish itself as a viable asset class. You have the CEO of BlackRock saying that it is a viable asset class, but AMIT is saying it's speculative and it's bullshit and buy.
Wait,
so
hold on.
buy
So
instead.
hold on. Larry Fink now is somehow the arbiter of. You criticize this guy for 10 months on the podcast. Now he says one good thing about something you like, and he's the golden goose.
Because he
Are you
only,
seriously doing that right now?
there's no
that's what I
contradiction.
heard.
There's no contradiction.
That's actually a very
He was
good
the
point.
ESG
I'll
devil.
explain
Now
to
he
you.
likes Bitcoin. And
All right,
now
you ready?
He's also
Are you ready?
using. He's also now invested in Meta. Just FYI.
Yeah.
Are you
Fink
ready?
Also has
Okay, are
he
you
also
done?
has Palantir and Tesla and every stock on the planet.
All right,
Go
he's
ahead.
ready. He's ready.
Are you
Go ahead.
ready?
Let's do
Okay,
it.
are you done with all your nonsense? The reason is because that man is only motivated by profit. He doesn't give a shit about anything else. And he is now deciding or realizing that this is a place for his company to make a fuck ton of money. That's what it comes down to. So it's not about me thinking that he's like suddenly a good guy because he likes an asset class. There's no hypocrisy here. What I'm saying is these
likes
guys
money.
who are fucking vultures who will take the last couple of dollars out of a dead person's hand are seeing that Bitcoin is a viable asset class that can make a lot of money. He says it's digital gold. So that's telling you something. They're actively trying to make an ETF on this. They're looking to make a boatload of cash on this.
Yeah, but why does a boatload mean 3x? Why does boatload mean 5x,
Yeah.
6x? You know what? Because again, there
All
has to
right,
be
all right. Now you're
output
just going
here.
in circles.
I know.
No, it's not
not
going
making
in
any
circles.
You're
sense.
just going in circles.
Oh, wait, hold on. Why is it going in circles?
What's the next
I'm looking
topic?
at the alpha.
It's
Amit,
not
not everybody has to be rich, so it's okay. How
It's
about
not.
that? So let's
It's
move
not
on to the
just
next
a
one.
3x. If you with a long enough time frame, you're talking about Bitcoin being $1 million, right? So
Bro,
when
that
you
to me,
say-
I'm sorry. That's I just don't agree.
Don't even
I
don't
don't-
even include him in
The
that.
market
Forget
cap
about
would be
that.
more than like the plan. How much was the market cap at 1 million a coin?
man.
How much is the market cap?
the market cap doesn't act. This is what I was looking for. Jesse had a great post about how the market cap doesn't actually have to be that high. It's about volume. So if a lot of money comes into Bitcoin in a very short period of time, it will drive the price through the roof. It's not necessarily related to like the market cap has to be $18 trillion. It doesn't have to be that way. So I was looking for the post, but I couldn't seem to find it when I was doing like.
Wait, there's 21 million Bitcoin times $1 million a coin, right? What is that? 21 times $1 million.
There aren't 21 million anymore. It's more like
Okay, so there's
16 million or 17 million.
Okay, so
because like they've
hey
been
Siri,
burned.
what's 17
No, but they
million
exist.
times 1
His
billion?
point is they still exist, and
Ask
they would be
Google.
calculated into the market cap.
That's 17.
Yeah, guys, if you like us fighting and arguing like
Really?
this, hit the like button. If you agree with me, hit the like
There's more
button.
than
If
trillion?
you agree with Amit, hit the like button. If you agree with that Chris should let other people
Subscribe.
talk, hit the like button.
Don't forget to join. We have a join button, right? Is that still there?
I guess.
We do have a join button. Yeah.
I haven't seen anybody join in a while.
Okay, we got 10
I
minutes
got all
left.
these fucking
Chris,
degenerates.
tell us why we should buy Verizon. You don't have to go super deep, but any thoughts on why?
I have
you
one thing.
like
I have
Verizon?
one thing before
It's-
we go there. Just one really.
Did you want to
quick
put a
thing.
link in the chat?
No. We'll do 10 minutes on Verizon. We don't. we don't
One
have to
really
do-
one.
Yeah,
one
always
really,
put a link in the chat. Doesn't hurt anybody.
If somebody wants
Shit.
to come in, they can come in. I just have
Gee.
one. Yeah, here. Let me see. I just want to say thank you to everybody. We actually have 4,000.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, did we
There we
get
go.
there?
We actually got to 4,000 subs. There
Is
we
it
are.
just
Look at that.
exactly 4,000?
Exactly 4,000 subs. Somebody apparently hit the button and saw it change to 4,000, and they commented. They sent it to us.
We forget to mention, but we do have another channel and we also have a Discord. So come join us.
Yeah, we got a lot of
Discord
hate for this
description.
video. We got a lot of hate for this video on
What's that
on
one? I don't
Twitter.
even know what that
is
is.
the one where we said if AI actually worked, Palantir would have shorted itself.
Oh, yeah.
Grogu
Yeah, go
Grogu
watch it.
came out
It
and
was a good video. It was a funny video.
anyway, wanted to say thanks because that's pretty cool that we got up to the 4,000 subs.
It only took 16 years, but we made it.
All right,
Chris,
Verizon.
It's a really long topic. Maybe we'll talk.
Okay, so
about
give
it
us the
another
TLDR.
episode.
I mean, we don't have to go super deep.
It's
but why do you
undervalued. It's super undervalued. I think the the rate environment that we're going to go for the next like couple of in probably the next 6 to 9 months is going to be very disinflationary, which means that a lot of people are going to start doing yield chasing. So asset classes like Verizon are going to be bought up because they are a stable company during a recession. So the one thing you're not going to cut off is your cell phones. You know, you're not going to cut off your home internet. Those are like things that you're going to need. Usually those utilities do exceptionally well during recessions.
Well, how long till
So
my
if we,
3x? That's what I want to know. How
so
long
if
till
we
I
do
my
get a
fucking 3X?
recession, so if we do get a recession, we're gonna end up doing well on Verizon. Not to mention you get almost like a 8.6% dividend yield right now based on today's prices.
So
So if you
I actually had Verizon, by the way, for a
I
long
was gonna
time.
say, I think everyone's holding Verizon in their dividend account.
Well,
I
I've
think it-
had it. I sold it for obviously the growth stocks that tank,
Oh,
like
shit,
Google,
okay.
Enphase, etc. But I had no choice. It was like I had to choose to keep Verizon or
But
buy
remember,
Google,
Verizon
Amazon.
tanked 50 to 30. That's why Chris is interested in it. 'Cause
Well,
it tanked
What?
pretty
that's still fine. I actually do like Verizon.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, what about their debt? All right, let's quickly talk about their debt. And the second thing is,
this is the thing.
Well,
We
let me ask
should,
the
like I
second
said,
question too.
yeah.
Besides the debt, we can answer these pretty quick. The second one is that the ratio of their dividends is growing beyond a certain point. I forgot what is it, past 60% of their income, something like that.
So there's two things to that. Number
Yeah.
one, their debt, they do have floating. Some of it is floating rate debt, but a lot of the debt that they had issued is fixed rate debt that's long term in nature. So it's not a big concern that they have. They don't have any maturity walls coming up, and at the same time, they've been doing a lot of capex for the last 5 years to get 5G adoption into the general market. The thing is, a lot of that 5G capex is being scaled back significantly. So all the major players are scaling back on that. At the same time, they do have some issues with churn, with T-Mobile picking up a lot of their wireless customers. So they are losing some net subscribers there. But at the same time, they are gaining a lot in fixed wireless. So fixed wireless is like 5G internet fixed right at the house
Well,
location.
FiOS. They have that.
No, not FiOS, not FiOS. It's
No,
FiOS is different. That's a different business.
Fiber.
This one is 5G home internet where you just get a box at home and it
Mm-hmm.
connects to a 5G stable connection directly to the towers, and then you have internet at home and at a pretty stable rates. One of the keys that Verizon really had was that they bought a lot of spectrum over the last like couple of years, and so they've been able to monetize. Now they're going to be able to monetize that spectrum, and so they have a very reliable network that's pretty much everywhere. They have huge enterprise clients that can't really like deviate from Verizon, so those are not going to be going towards T-Mobile. So right now it's a tripleopoly, if that's what you want to call it. You've got T-Mobile, you've got AT&T, and you've got Verizon. Those are like the three major heavies. You used to have Sprint also, but Sprint was bought up by T-Mobile as a so now there's only three, which means that the pricing power is a little bit better. So with the current situation with Verizon, there's two main benefits to Verizon right now buying the stock. Number one, that great dividend yield is pretty much safe based on the cash flows going forward, especially with the capex cuts. And then at the same time, you're going to be able to benefit from they're going to be able to benefit from a lower rate environment, because now all the people that are saying, oh my God, they have debt. Oh my God, they have debt. They're going to have to shut the fuck up and say, look, the debt, even though they have debt, it's a capital intensive business that generates significant cash flows that they can pay off if they really wanted to. Businesses don't necessarily, especially in their sector, don't necessarily have to worry as much about debt as people think. Everyone looks at that debt number and automatically freaks out like, oh my God, this business has all this debt. Yeah, that's how business works. You take debt to finance capital projects, and then you over time you pay the debt down, but you never really like get rid of the debt. You just, because if your margins are like 10, 12, 15%, what's the point of paying off debt that's 4, 5, or 6% costing you per year? You wouldn't do that. You would just keep refinancing as much as you can. That's the same thing that people do with like housing. So
one theory that I did have is, as the world increasingly goes wireless, their capex costs should go down because they're not running as much. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. So one of the things is they're taking market share, especially for wireless home. they're going to be taking that from cable providers, right? So cable, DSL, even satellite, because some rural parts of the country were primarily reliant on something like HughesNet, which is like shitty
This was a
internet over
question
the
you might
satellite.
want to answer this while
Yeah.
you're talking there.
Starlink is not really a threat. There is some niche use cases that Starlink is definitely good for, which is like if you are on the road traveling all the time, maybe you need it there. But even that like pales in comparison to the reliability of 5G. Starlink has some really, really niche use cases. Like if you're in some really remote part of the country, yeah, Starlink could work. But in terms of reliability, it can't be used for like mission critical applications. So it's not going to be a big thing, So
Well, let me bring this up just between the two, AT&T, because I'm looking at both right now. And I had both up until recently. So bring that up. So this is Verizon. It does have a payout ratio of 53, which is not as terrible. I thought it was actually worse. So 53. It has been growing its dividend for 19 years, of course.
Dividend growth is really low at lower 2%, but it's good.
But right now it's 8.67. I mean, that's high.
Yeah.
So let's just compare it to AT&T. I don't know if you looked into this as well. Their dividend is pretty high. They have consistency bad because they actually cut their dividend. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, something similar can happen to Verizon if the stock keeps crashing, basically, and their payout ratio increases. That's what I'm discussing here. That is this possible, in your opinion, that is that going to happen?
No, I think with the CapEx cuts and increases in fixed wireless at home, it's going to.
I'm going to share
the
this. It's
fixed
AT&T, by the way. This one's AT&T here.
Yeah. So I'm not a big fan of AT&T. I'd rather be in Verizon than AT&T. Verizon itself has some structurally like beneficial things, like especially on like the spectrum. They actually bought a good amount of spectrum in the year 2000, because I don't know if you guys know how the spectrum situation worked. Like you needed to clear a certain amount of spectrum in order to broadcast signal. So there was a lot of spectrum that was originally assigned to like Intelsat from like the satellite providers, and so they had to be removed. And so Verizon bought a lot of that up, and they're able to now put all of that internet that out there. So one of the things is that in terms of reliability and everything else, those are things that are really impacted by the what is that thing called? The licensing of that specific spectrum. So Verizon right now has probably the best in terms of, one, reliability. Everyone knows about that. But two, just how much more they can expand out in those bands.
So the problem I found, and
when you say spectrum, you mean like digital bandwidth spectrum. You don't mean spectrum, the company.
Yeah, digital spectrum. So it's like which megahertz that you're able to broadcast the signal at.
So both T-Mobile basically was allowed to eat Verizon's and AT&T's lunch, which is ridiculous considering they controlled it, which shows that T-Mobile has way better management than these guys. So aren't you worried about their shitty management?
No.
Well, that answers that. Go ahead and buy.
No, there's one reason why. It's very simple. There's even with like not so great management, the value of Verizon is so low. Like right now, their PE is less than their dividend. So why would I buy an overvalued company with good management, or would I buy a value company based on decent management? Because they're not bad management, they're just decent. Some of their acquisitions in the last 5-10 years haven't been good, but they've got a new CEO. They put a new person in charge of their consumer wireless division that I'm still doing a lot more DD on. But in terms of valuation, Verizon's really at the bottom level. Also, Buffett was a big shareholder of Verizon not too long ago, until he dumped his position about a year and a half ago. So there's definitely fundamentals to the business that are going to see this company recover. I think this company's recovery is going to rely more on the decrease in rates. If you look at the 10-year treasury, as a 10-year treasury goes down, that is what's going to trigger a lot of yield chasing. So a lot of companies that have corporate debt, they're gonna end up getting bought out. Because like I said, look at the dividend yield right now on $30, right? So if you think of the current stock price with $31, you're getting an 8.6% dividend, right? Historically, they've traded at about a 4.8% dividend, going back to like a 10-year treasury of about 2%. So you're getting almost 280 basis points above the 10-year treasury, right? So if you multiply it in your head, like, okay, so what should be the dividend, the fixed return be for Verizon, which is a growing business? It should be closer between 5 and 6% of yield. So what stock price do you need in order to get between not 4, sorry, between like, let's even 4.5 is fine. 4.5, maybe 5 and 6. It's like almost like $45-50. So that's the fair value that I would give Verizon, $45-50. So at current trading prices around 30, you're looking at, a 50% return while you're getting a 8.5% dividend year over year. That's going to end up compounding over time as well. So
I agree on you on the Verizon thing. I would have kept it too.
There's no reason not to have it. This is like the railroads on the monopoly board. Like, if you can own them, why wouldn't you own them? Just
buy the utilities.
Buy the utilities, because
especially during a recession. This is one of those things that during a recession, regardless of how the business is, if you think about it, if a recession comes,
I'll be right back, guys. Right back.
Yeah. If a recession comes, everyone is still going to be using their phones. Everyone's still going to be using the internet. You're still going to need this business. So they're going to make money. On top of that, if a recession does come, the Fed is going to have incentive to lower interest rates, which means that dividend is going to look super juicy to most investors. And then they'll start buying up the asset class and run that shit up to like $45-50 anyway. So, whether recession, believe it or not, this is the company you want to be in during a recession.
Yeah, but you just know this is going to play out over, this is playing over years. Okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah. It's definitely not an instant return, but if you think about the S&P 500 yields you like 8% year over year, average per year.
This is right there.
Right. Versus this, you get both capital appreciation from
and the dividend,
price increases and the dividend. So,
And real quick, that lead cable thing, that's not an issue? You don't think
that is an issue, but it's so small in terms of like total cost to them that like all the data that I'm seeing right now, it's such a minor amount of like contamination and everything else. The liabilities are going to be, by the way, the liabilities are never like, oh, you need to pay like $20 billion right now. It's usually remediation over a long period of time, which every year you pay a little bit amount to that. So think of what happened to BP in the Gulf of Mexico, right? You had to deal with that. Yeah, it is a bit of an issue, but it impacts it very.
It's not a thesis breaker to you.
It's not a thesis breaker, especially at the current valuation. Definitely not. I mean, if this was like $40-50, I'd be like a little bit more leery and hesitant because, like you said, the total risk to reward is not there. Like, why would I be risking a lot of capital in order to get a very little reward at $30? I think it's very undervalued.
That's right. No 3x. We're going to pass.
Is 3x the inside joke now on the pod?
That's your 3x? Man, that is your inside.
I need a 3x.
I'm getting 100x on Palantir. Why do I need this 3x?
I'm getting a 7 trillion x on Palantir. Why do I need a 3x?
All right, so I got something funny. To share here.
That was good though. Thank you, Chris, for that. And let us know if you guys have questions on Verizon for next pod.
So this is how I think we should settle our arguments from now on.
Okay, here we go. This is gonna be me and you in Vegas, Carlos.
You and me in Vegas. They have kazoos in their mouth.
Dude, this is so
is this rock, paper, scissors?
Yeah,
they're playing rock, paper, scissors, but you get to smack the person when it's done. You can have a shield.
Yeah, this is what we're gonna do in Vegas, bro. The whole night. This is what we're doing.
Totally. This is how we settle it. Bitcoin or Bitcoin's on the right, the green, and Palantir's on the left.
How about we settle it just in a year or two and look at the portfolio?
Bro, I
never did anything like that in high school.
I watched that so many times. Whenever I'm feeling down, I just throw it on. Holy shit, that made me laugh.
All right, little quick announcement about Vegas. Unfortunately, our good friend, our fourth fellow junkie, is likely not going to be able to make it. He's got some stuff coming up. So for those that were coming exclusively for VITALY,
Yeah,
You guys
you can cancel your flight.
cancel your trip.
Well, where are you going to be? Where in the world are you going to be? We'll just send them all over there.
New Orleans.
No, go down to fucking NOLA.
Yeah.
Have you been to? You've been to the French Quarter, I'm sure. Plenty of times.
A long time ago.
Yeah. So Chris, Carlos, and I will still be there. But
Yes, but don't you have a ticket available? So for the people that did not weren't able to get a ticket for absent on that Sunday, VITALY's tickets available. If you want, send him $7,000, $8,000. Oh no, it's one Bitcoin.
Send him 3x the value.
One Bitcoin.
Send him 3x the value so he makes some money on his.
Garcia, I know you were interested. Hit me up. I think you might either buy the. I mean, someone's going to buy the ticket. We have a bunch of people going. So.
I thought Garcia bought Tevis's ticket.
Oh, he did already? Okay, so
I think so. I don't know. I think so. It's that massive that chat that we have going on. But anyway,
Garcia's canceling.
And we are looking to this weekend, right, Amit? We're gonna, or like this week, we have to book the.
Yeah, we're booking a couple of events. So if anyone does want to still go, hit me up on Twitter, and we'll add you to the group chat if you're down to come. And yeah, it'll be a fun. It's in 14 days, less than that, like 12 days.
That's crazy that it's coming. It's so fast.
It's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be fun.
All right. Well, thank you. 318 people. We crossed the 300 threshold. Again.
If you haven't liked and subscribed, please like and subscribe.
Yes, please like and subscribe. We are trying to grow this channel. We love doing this, but obviously the idea, the long-term goal of the channel is to expand this. And so, guys, please help us do that. If you like the video, hit like, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed, and tell a friend, tell somebody to come on, or send them the video when we're done.
Give this pod to someone who hates Bitcoin and loves Bitcoin, and tell them both to see.
Yeah, and let them come on the podcast and argue with us. Same thing for Palantir.
Send them to 21 minutes and see what they have to say about Bitcoin.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
See you guys tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Later. Take care.
Later.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.